I'm Dr. Ben Newman. It's a new year, so I guess I can tell you now that I have 26 years experience working on coronaviruses. Yeah, since good old 96. Wow. This is Darwin. He has 0 years working on coronaviruses, and you should probably not take his advice on anything except when it's supper time. All right. Our first question today is all right. It's coming from, I believe, Jackie. I scrolled too far and I can't see now. What can you suggest to a young person who is physically fit with a known good immune system? Oh boy. All right. Who chooses to never put any foreign material in their body and is also always well? I mean, yeah. I'm picturing an Adonis or the female equivalent, and yeah, just what do you say to somebody like that? Wow, I guess you get tongue tied. I don't know. Yeah, uh, I think what we're referring to here is get vaccinated. How do you say get vaccinated? And that is the right thing to say. Um, I guess first I'd say, have you ever eaten food? Because that feels like a foreign substance that you put in your body. Now, there are a lot of feelings attached to food. We have this feeling like it's grown from the earth, therefore it's got to be good. All this stuff is just feelings. No, none of this is reality. Yeah, you can make a stew of amino acids and whatever starches and stuff, simple sugars, and it will give you the same effect materially, nutritionally. It's just that psychologically, there's also a component to eating. Yeah. So yeah, that's yeah. I find this line of thinking really silly on a personal level, but I know that there are a lot of people out there who say the same thing and probably actually believe it. So yeah, there you go. Um, so I would say, why not go for the mRNA vaccine? One of those, which those are the more effective ones anyway. So that's what we're trying to do here. But also consider, what do you think is inside that food you eat? Let's say you eat a leaf of lettuce. What do you think is inside there? Because the lettuce, until you ate it, was alive to some extent. And all living things have DNA in their nucleus, and they make a bunch of this stuff called messenger RNA that goes out to the cytoplasm, and the messenger RNA will do stuff in the cytoplasm, make protein, various other things. Yeah. And that's how living things work. That's how every living thing works. Okay. And there are also a couple of studies from, years ago. I think back in the late 90s, this was trendy. Maybe early 2000s, and they're looking at what happens to some of this RNA. And I remember one of the studies, they fed mice green fluorescent protein. I believe it was DNA. I believe it was a plasmid. And then they looked in their intestines and opened it up, and sure enough, they found several cells that were making this jellyfish derived green fluorescent protein. Because if you eat the DNA, it can at least go, where do you think this stuff goes? As I understand it, and again, I am not a chef. You do not want to get your cooking advice here, but part of what makes food taste good is breaking down RNA into nucleotides, which is one of the things that happens when you cook food. Yeah, it's part of those fancy reactions that chefs all know and love. So anyway, yeah, RNA is a pretty normal thing, and it's part of everything that you eat. And if you like simplicity, I think also the RNA vaccines are kind of nice because they have a very short list of ingredients. You've got a little bit of phospholipid. That's like the stuff that makes the cells in your lettuce. It's actually the same compound. You've got the RNA on the inside, and it's the same nucleotides. They're just in a slightly different order. Just as if you had a set of Legos and you built two different things using all the Legos. It would be all the same pieces, but it would look a little different on the outside. But if you break it down, there's no difference at all. Um, and yeah, I'm not even sure where else I was going with that, but everybody's young at one point. I used to have happy days where I would feel like I was literally invulnerable, and that was very nice. And whatever, these things pass. I think If you're not worried about yourself, that's okay. That's probably some kind of positive mental attitude. There's probably a rack of self-help books written by people just like you. But I would say think about the people around you, because you interact with all these people. When you go into, I don't know, where do fit people eat Jamba Juice or something? When you go into Jamba Juice, if you don't have the vaccine, you're going to get the virus. That's inevitable in this current climate. And you're probably going to get the virus repeatedly. Yeah. Because it's either vaccinate or get infected. Those are the only choices that are on the table right now. You can, I guess, try and find a third choice where you live on top of a mountain. But people like climbing mountains. You're going to meet somebody at some point. It's not going to, yeah, not going to last forever. And every time, every even petty interaction, every person you smile at, every person you talk to, you are potentially wrecking their life. You are potentially even killing them, or just causing long-term damage to their heart that may never go away, or long-term scarring in their lungs. And I don't know, as people, we're kind of connected to other people, and I don't think anybody wants that out of a social interaction. I don't think any non-psychopath wants that out of a social interaction. You want, yeah, to tell a little joke or say hi and have somebody smile, which kind of tells you that you did something nice. Yeah, and this is not. Coronavirus is real and very bad, and it definitely infects people, even the ones who think they're real young and fit. We occasionally do testing on campus, and good Lord, yeah. You get some very high percentages of these fairly young, fit people that are coronavirus positive at certain times. Yeah. Yeah. Just how you feel is not necessarily connected to whether or not you have the virus, especially when you're young. And occasionally it's bad. Occasionally it puts young people in the hospital, but there are times when young people will get it and will just be able to, walk it off. But before they do, they're passing it on. If everybody was 100%, cautious and definitely didn't pass on the virus after they got infected, yeah, Darwin's ears perked up. Yeah, there would be no virus anymore. Yeah, I'll leave you with that. Yeah, this kind of thinking, if you want to call it thinking, is kind of why we're in this problem right now. And stop it. Oh my gosh, yeah. Do you hate everybody? Stop it. Yeah. It's not foreign. It's not weird. It's the same stuff you're made of. And if you can't put the same stuff you're made of into your body, then there is nothing on this world that you can ever eat, or life will be short and very unpleasant, I'm afraid. So there you go. Will any of that work? Probably not. I don't know. I don't know. They're probably flexing at themselves in the mirror right now, but you know what? We tried. All right. Thanks very much. This has been Ask Dr. Ben.